Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Adelaide. Adelaide is a name of Germanic origin comprised of the ancient components adal meaning noble and heid meaning kind, sort. The name was borne by one of the most prominent women of the 10th century, Saint Adelaide of Italy, although she was born in present-day Switzerland. Her first marriage was a planned alliance during a time of great political chaos in Italy. However, her husband soon died and his usurper tried to force the young Adelaide, then barely 20, to marry his son. When she refused, she was forced to flee and threw herself at the mercy of Otto the Great of Germany. Otto had other plans. Taking advantage of this precarious situation, he went ahead and conquered Italy himself and then married Adelaide. Husband and wife were soon crowned Emperor and Empress of the Holy Roman Empire by Pope John XII. Adelaide is the patron saint of some pretty interesting things. Besides empresses, princesses, brides and widows, she is also the patron of exiles, second marriages and in-law problems. In any case, she was a much admired woman during medieval times. The name Adelaide didn't become popular in England until the 19th century owing to the German-born wife of King William IV, Adelaide of Saxe-Meiningen, 1792 to 1849. In fact, Adelaide, the capital city of South Australia, is named after this pious woman. Queen Consort Adelaide was beloved by the British people for her modesty and charity, and they sympathised with her greatly due to her many failed childbirths and early deaths of children. It was her inability to produce an heir that led to the crowning of her niece by marriage, Queen Victoria. Adelaide is also the French spelling rendered as Adelaide and pronounced Adelaide. Pet forms include Ada, Addie and Della. The original German name of Adelheid has given the English a slew of noble names such as Alice, Alison and even Heidi. Personality of the girl named Adelaide. The number 5 personality loves the excitement of life and can easily adapt to all situations. As natural adventurers, these personalities thrive on the new and unexpected and prefer to be in constant motion. It makes them feel alive. They'll stir up some action if there's not enough around, and as inherent risk takers they enjoy pushing the envelope. Naturally rebellious, the 5 personality has no fear and never resists change. Traveling and new experiences feed their souls. 5s are very social and attract friends with ease. People love to be around the 5 fun-loving and exciting energy. This is also a lucky number in numerology, like the 3s, so fortune seems to shine on them, helped along by their own optimism and good nature. 5s have a quick wit, a cerebral mind, and are generally very persuasive. Popularity of the girl named Adelaide. Adelaide was most popular in the United States at the end of the 19th century and first part of the 20th century. Over 100 years ago, this name was at relatively high levels of moderate usage, but by the 1940s it became apparent that Adelaide was on her way out. The name completely disappeared from the American female naming charts in 1949 and she would remain in darkness for another 50+ years, not to re-emerge until 2005. Obviously, her reappearance on the charts is following the trend of revival interest in old-fashioned names, and Adelaide is definitely one of those. Somehow this name has a more genteel and regal sensibility about her along with that Germanic strength. And although Adelaide has been climbing the charts, she is still far from being overused. It's so much classier and sophisticated sounding than Addison or Adeline, so much more French with that certain joie de vivre. By itself, Adelaide is a beautifully noble name, and there are plenty of nickname options to casualize and cuten her up if you like: Addie, Ada, Della, Heidi or even Layla or Lady. This is a long-enduring, time-tested name that keeps on giving. Quick facts on Adelaide: gender, girl origin, English number of syllables, 3 ranking popularity, 321 pronunciation, Adelaide simple meaning, noble 1 characteristics of Adelaide: intellectual, sensual, freedom-loving, adventurous, adaptable, progressive, easygoing. Cultural references to the baby name Adelaide. Literary characters of the baby name Adelaide. Miss Adelaide is one of the characters of Guys and Dolls, a 1950 Broadway musical based on the stories of Damon Runyon, which has seen many revivals and was also made into a film in 1955. Both original roles were played by Vivian Blaine. Adelaide is the longtime, 14 years, fiancé of big gambler Nathan Detroit, whose floating crap games keep getting in the way of the altar. She constantly nags him to set a date, and is convinced she has developed an ongoing psychosomatic cold as a result of her lack of success in this endeavor. She has actually told her mother that they have been long married and have 5 children with one on the way. How does one pull that off? Adelaide is a delightfully comic character, a chanteuse at the Hotbox nightclub and an all-around Noah par excellence. This one has a happy ending, needless to say, and Miss Adelaide finally gets her man. We're just not sure how she's going to explain all those non-kids to her mom. Popular songs on Adelaide Adelaide's Lament, an opera by composer Nicola Porpora, a song by Frank Loesser, Guys and Dolls, famous people named Adelaide of Italy, 10th century saint, wife of Otto the Great, Adelaide of Susa, 11th century Marchioness of Turin/Susa, Princess Adelheid, Duchess of Hohenlohe-Langenburg, Adelaide and Proctor, English poet and philanthropist, Adelaide of Aquitaine, 10th century queen consort of the Franks, Adelaide of Saxe-Meiningen, 19th century queen consort of the United Kingdom, Adelaide of La with Tilda Wenstein-Wertheim-Rosenberg, 19th century Queen Consort of Portugal, Adelaide of Holland, 13th century Regent Ruler of Holland, Adelaide of Savoy, 12th century Queen Consort of the Franks, Adelaide of Austria, 19th century Queen Consort of Sardinia,